So we're going to talk about where the sap comes from and how we get it. This is a maple log, a piece of a maple log. I got it out of my firewood pile. And this one would have been about 25 centimeters to 30 centimeters across. And so you might be able to see on this wood that in the middle there's a darker area, which we call heartwood. Then there's a broad band of light colored wood, which we call sapwood. And then we have the bark. And the wooden part of the tree, the main part of the tree here, is a combination of fibers, which give it strength, and vessels, which carry the water from the roots up into the tree during the summer. And then another kind of tissue called ray cells, which run radially from the middle of the tree going out to the bark. And those are very important because those cells are the ones which the plant puts its starch in the summer. So in the summer, when the leaves are on the tree, it's making sugar with the sunlight, help of the sunlight, and then it moves that sugar down through the bark, inner bark, into the wood, and that sugar is moved into these ray cells in the wood and in the roots, where it converts to starches and stores that energy, all that energy that it's going to need to put on a whole new canopy of leaves in the spring. So it stores up a significant amount of energy in the form of sugar and starch, and it stores it in these ray cells in the middle of the wood. So in the spring, when the temperature begins to warm, the tree begins to wake up, and those ray cells begin to convert that starch into sugar in anticipation of bud break and then going to be a need for lots of energy. So as those sugars in those ray cells begin to convert to sugar, we can get some of it. So what we do is we will drill a hole and make a cavity in the sapwood, and then if the weather conditions are right, some of that sugar solution, the sap, will flow into that cavity, and then we can collect that day after day throughout the entire early spring season. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to collect sugar that was made last summer, and it's just beginning to be mobilized, and we can take some of that sugar away. Fortunately, the tree has much more sugar stored up than it really needs. So if we take maybe 10% of that sugar that the tree has saved, it doesn't hurt the tree. The tree has more than that surplus. So we're just taking some of the surplus sugar that the tree has laid down from the previous summer. So once we've drilled the cavity into the wood, there's airspace there in the tree. In the morning, when the sun hits the tree and the wood warms up, gases, mainly carbon dioxide, but various gases begin to diffuse out of the sap. And with the warming temperature, those gases expand and create pressure within the ray cells there. And when that pressure gets high enough, the sap is pushed by that pressure into the cavity that we drilled into the tree. And then when night comes and the temperature drops down again, those gases condense back into the sap, and there's a negative pressure created in those cells around that cavity. And so the tree draws water up from the roots to compensate for that negative pressure and regenerates the system overnight in the cold. So then when the sun comes up the next day or the temperature rises and those gases expand again, there's another charge of sap that will come out every day when we have temperatures that are going above freezing during the day and below freezing at night. So that's why that temperature is critical, and we need to harvest our sap when we have warmer temperatures during the day above freezing, maybe even 4 degrees above freezing. But the temperature at night is dropping below in order to recharge the system. If we have night temperatures that stay above freezing, or we have day temperatures that stay below freezing, we'll have very little sap run.